Story 1 by Haunted Tales. The Man on the Empty Highway. It was 2:17 in the morning. I was driving alone on a deserted highway in New Mexico. There was nothing but darkness on both sides of the road. No houses, no stores, not even another car in sight. I was coming home from a friend's house, and I still had about an hour and a half of driving left. Then, suddenly, I saw a man standing far ahead on the side of the road. He was standing right beside the highway. Black jacket, black pants, his head was lowered. At first, I thought his car had broken down, but as I got closer, something felt wrong. There was no car anywhere near him. I didn't slow down. As I passed him, he slowly raised his head, and he looked directly at my car. His face was unnaturally pale. I looked away and kept driving. About 5 minutes later, I couldn't resist checking my rearview mirror. The road was completely empty. The man was gone. I told myself that maybe he had simply walked away. Then my phone rang. There was no name on the screen, just unknown number. I didn't answer. A few seconds later, it rang again, then again. Finally, annoyed, I answered the call. Hello? There was no response, only the slow sound of someone breathing. I said again, who's this? For several seconds, there was complete silence. Then a man's voice came through, very low. Why did you leave me behind? My hand almost dropped the phone. I immediately ended the call. The first thought that came into my mind was, I never picked that man up, so how could he possibly be calling me? I turned off my phone and started driving faster. Then I heard a sound from the back seat. Knock. I froze. A few seconds later, knock knock. It sounded like someone was tapping on the rear window with their fingers. I looked into the rearview mirror. The back seat was completely dark. There was no one there. I told myself it was probably something inside the car making the noise. Then it happened again, this time louder. Knock, knock, knock. I refused to look back. Then I saw a light in the distance. It was an old roadside service station. I quickly pulled in and stopped the car. An elderly man was sitting behind the counter inside. I told him everything. The stranger, the phone call, the knocking from the back seat, everything. The old man listened without saying a word. Then he asked, what did the man look like? I described his clothes and his face. The old man's expression suddenly changed. He slowly reached under the counter and pulled out an old newspaper. He placed it in front of me. Did he look like this man? I looked at the photograph, and my heart nearly stopped. The man in the photograph was the exact same man I had seen beside the highway. The newspaper was about a fatal accident that had happened on that highway nearly 5 years earlier. A man had been struck by a car and killed. The accident happened shortly after 2 a.m. I slowly looked at the old man, but I saw him tonight. The old man nodded. I know. Then he told me that every year, around the same time, people reported seeing that man standing beside the highway. Some people drove past him, others stopped, but the stories of the people who picked him up were even worse. The old man said, they all say the same thing. The man got into their car. He paused, but when they reached their destination, he was no longer inside the car. I asked, then what happened? The old man looked directly into my eyes. They heard him inside their house. My entire body went cold. I didn't ask anything else. I went back to my car, locked the doors, and drove away as fast as I could. About an hour later, I finally reached home. I pulled the car into my garage and closed the door. I was still trying to convince myself that everything had been a coincidence. Maybe someone had been playing a prank on me. Maybe the phone call had been some kind of scam. But then I looked at the back seat, and my heart dropped. There was a black jacket lying on the seat. I was absolutely certain. That jacket had not been in my car before. I slowly picked it up. There was a folded piece of paper inside the pocket. I opened it. There was only one sentence written on it. Don't leave me behind next time. I dropped the paper immediately. I took the jacket outside and threw it away. Then I went inside my house and locked every door and window. I didn't sleep that night. Near dawn, I was sitting exhausted on the couch. Then I noticed a shadow outside the window. I slowly looked through a gap in the curtains. Across the street, a man was standing there. Black clothes, head lowered. I immediately closed the curtains. A few minutes later, I gathered enough courage to look again. Nobody was there. I thought maybe I had imagined it. Then my phone received a message. Unknown number, only 3 words. I'm inside. My heart started pounding. I slowly looked around the room. Everything was silent. Then, I heard a sound from upstairs. Knock. I froze. Then again, knock knock. The exact same sound I had heard from the back seat of my car. I stared at the staircase, and from the darkness upstairs, I heard a man's quiet voice. Why did you leave me behind? I didn't stay another second. I opened the front door and ran to my neighbor's house. The police came. They searched the entire house, but they found no one. There were no broken doors, no damaged windows, nothing. Before leaving, one of the officers told me, "Maybe you were just extremely tired." I didn't say anything. A few weeks later, I sold my car. I thought that would finally be the end of it. But 2 days after selling the car, the new owner called me. He said, "Hey, I found an old black jacket in the back seat of the car." I didn't say anything for several seconds. Then I asked, "Did you find anything inside the pocket?" There was silence on the other end. Then he said, "Yeah, a piece of paper." My throat went dry. I asked, "What does it say?" The man slowly read the words, "This time, you're not alone." I have never driven after 2 a.m. since that night. And even today, whenever I see someone standing beside a deserted road at night, I never stop, because now I know some people can be left behind on the side of the road, but some people follow you all the way home. Before you go, if you liked this scary story and want to hear more creepy stories, spooky legends, and unsolved mysteries from around the world, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any new nightmares. We upload brand new scary stories every week, designed to keep you breathless. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, sometimes the scariest stories come true. See you in the next nightmare.